Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Karynjean, and I was going through the Pepperidge Farm cookbook looking for a picture of a pie to put on that CD sleeve, but I couldn't find one. But I did find these, which I absolutely love. So maybe we'll use these for page decorations. Might be a little bit too, as far as like running down the side of a page, or just putting in there. I mean, I can maybe cut that one down a little bit more, but I love them. So, and there are a couple things I do want to do. I want to do some decorating, but I also want to go through, this is the project bucket, and I'm going to stand up because I don't know what you can see. I don't think I can pull you any further away. Let's see. Pull you further away. So this is just what's left of the stickers. So I'm just going to put that aside. This is just a piece of parchment paper that I use when I make bread. Scraps. These are all the scraps, right? So let's pull the scraps out because, well, that could be a page edge. Put the scraps aside. Let me put this aside. We're done with that. We have some here. Pull that out. Scraps. That's a scrap. Paper edge. Okay, so here we go. So let me pull out these recipe cards. I have other recipe cards. Of course, I have lots of different types of recipe cards in my own kitchen. So maybe I will pull some of them out. Not quite sure what. Put the stamp out. Scraps. Pull these out. Pull this out. Pull these out. See, these are the things that get lost when. Oh, I forgot that. See, I forgot that I made that. More scraps. That we need to make. This and this. I don't know if I need that anymore. Scraps. So here are, I'm going to pull these out because they're thin. That's what we'll do. We will do some border edging the sides of the papers. All right, so anything else? I pull that out. Pull that out because that could be multi-directional. Pull that out. Scraps. These are scraps, but they're big scraps that are getting in my way. Okay, so there's the project bucket, which I have now placed back where it was. And let me pull you back down a little bit. Whoops, sorry. Pull you back down. Hopefully you'll be in frame. These I'm going to put over here. I don't think I'm going to be using those. We need to make this. Here's the book. Oh, here I have more scraps. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Okay. The tissue paper. Put that back in there. Okay. What I want to do first is scraps. There's my roast. Let's not lose that roast beef recipe, people. Okay, oh my goodness. We just need to start dealing with some of this stuff, right? Right. Yes, we do. That's garbage. Oh, goodness. So I hope you're all doing okay, and I hope you've been enjoying my antics here and what we've been doing. All right, I hope it's been enjoyable for you. It's been fun for me. I'm having a lot of fun with this. All right, I'm going to move that aside too. So, like I said, I forgot that I did this little one. That's a lot of fun. So that's an insert for the book. Let's not forget. And I want to make, this needs to be trimmed down a little bit. I want to make a one out of this as well, but we'll leave that for the end. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is this. I am going to put over the edge of a page, and I'm going to put over the edge of a page to make side tuck on. I don't know why I was saying I don't have anything. I'm in the third signature because I thought I said I didn't have anything in the third signature. I can put this down here and I can glue it so we can make it a tuck that way. So it can be, so I'm going to glue it here, and I'm going to glue it here. And also I'm going to run a bead of glue down the center there, so that it would be, here we go, just like that. I'm zigzagging it so it gets onto both edges and the bottom. Like that. Actually, I'm liking the way this rubber or plastic silicone, I guess, knitting needle cap is keeping my glue, because I haven't been here since yesterday. This is like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's been about 24 hours. And that glue seems to be doing okay. All right, let me get this. As far as, you know, me needing to attack it with the pin to get it going, it hasn't dried out, so I'm really liking that. Okay, so, and of course I didn't do anything to the edges here. Nope, don't like the yellow. Let's use some vintage photo on this. My brother is at the moment making me sick. He's downstairs making coffee, and coffee is, as I think I've explained in an earlier video, coffee is something, especially the coffee he makes, because he makes a very strong coffee, it makes me physically ill. I get very, very nauseous. I start coughing, and I just want to throw up. And he doesn't seem to understand that. He thinks, I don't know what he thinks, but he insists on making his coffee in my house. When I told him to not make it in my house, but to take it outside. You know, I have a large deck, and there's electricity out there. So, I don't know. That's just me and my issues. And the tag on my sweater is bothering me. It's bothering me. We could put this here. Kind of matches with the colors. We could do it from here to there. So I don't know. That's my worry for today. My issue for the day. So I hope everybody else is doing okay. And if you're a coffee drinker, more power to you. Just know that I will never be offering you coffee if you ever come to my house. I'll have plenty of different tea and other beverages, coffee not being one of them. So, and get the edges there. there's that one. And we're also going to do some more with the cheesecloth. We are. Why don't we do that now? So there's cheesecloth. We could put the cheesecloth. So we could put it on the beginning of each signature. Let's see if we can. This seems to be kind of turning in on itself here. And we seem to have more on one end than we do on another end, which doesn't matter, you know, it's just cheesecloth. Okay, so let's get out the Fabrifix and let's start that process over again. Again, I'm keeping it white because I'm going to put the daisy ribbon down it as well. I like the look of that, so we'll continue with that, right? All right, so let's start it with some Fabrifix and turn over the top. Get that in. I'm going to squish this in a little bit because that's a pretty wide section right there. And bit by bit. There goes the dog beginning her whining again. If we can. So just get it the rest of the way down there and see if I need to add more as I go. Yeah, so aside from feeling sick to my stomach right now because of my brother and his darn coffee, everything else is just peachy. Peachy. Like I said, it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I came up here late. Let me just do this. Run this bead down. Run a bead down. See if I can get this here. Get this off my finger. Down here. Dag nabbit. So, today is Tuesday, and as I've said before, British TV, I love British TV. Well, the most recent season of Shetland on BritBox. I love the show Shetland. A new episode was dropping every Tuesday, and today was the final episode of this season, and where the main character, Jimmy, the character's name is Jimmy Perez, it was his, his last season. So I'm going to regret this. So the show's going to continue, with the other actors. So it'll be interesting to see how what's going to be different about it, how it's going to change and evolve without this person being the main chief inspector or deputy chief inspector, whatever his title. His title, is that the right word? I guess that's the right word. Anyway, so yeah, so it'll be interesting. I mean, he's been doing the show for years and years and years, so British TV and how they do British TV is so different than American TV. Back when I was growing up, and even now, you know, you have your season starts in the fall and ends like in the spring. It like runs the school year. There's like, I don't know how many episodes in one season. And yeah. In British TV, they don't call them seasons, they call them series. And they're like maybe 6 or 8 episodes each. So it's a lot shorter. I guess that's good for the actors, though. I'm just trying to. This is still a little bit tacky here, because then they can go off and do other things, right? I'm gonna kill it with some cornstarch so that we can move on here. I guess, I don't know. It's just a lot different than American TV. You know, like I told you, my one of my favorites, right, is Vera, who I don't think they're making. That's also been on TV for years. There's an author, Anne Cleves, and I think both of these shows are based on characters that she has written on her books. I've never actually read any of her books either, so maybe I should start reading the books. But oh, and another. I'm gonna trim this off right here. Louise Penny, who's a Canadian author, writes the Inspector Gamache series, which I am totally in love with, and they are now making a TV show out of that, which I can't wait for that. Also, the next Inspector Gamache book is coming out in November. So I'm also looking forward to that. This is doubled, which is fine. Use the back of my nail to get that down in there. I have cotton threads all over the place. So, let's do the whole thing. See what happens. Yeah, I have no idea who is going to be acting in that show. I don't even know who I would want to play those main characters who I have grown to love. So, see, this is what's happening. This glue's on my fingers, and it's tearing the, it's pulling apart the cheesecloth as I'm trying to glue it down. I'm not having fun, people. I'm not having fun with this. Because you know how much I hate getting glue on my fingers. And that is exactly what I'm doing with this. Let's see if I can. All right, I'm going to try to get most of it off my fingers. And instead of throwing the glue down there and then putting the ribbon down, let's see about throwing the glue on the back of the ribbon and then pressing it down. Let's see if I can get it to work this way. I'm not sure about this. Okay, so there we have the glue. Boom. Let me close this up so I can, there, put it in one of those holders upside down. That needs to be cut off. All right. Ay, 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 ay. Press it really in there to get through the cheesecloth onto the paper. And again, let's get the glue off my fingers. Oh, goodness gracious. Whoops. Let's cut that. Cut that down. And let's, I don't know, hope for the best. Let's hope for the best. Cut some of it down. Whoops. Okay, well, let's see. See, this one, this edge isn't rough like that edge is, and neither is this one. That's the finished edge, I guess, of the cheesecloth, whereas that is not. Okay, well, so we got the cheesecloth down on each of the signatures. First on the signature cover. Okay, and what I also wanted to do was, remember, I wanted to take these things, and we could use these down some of the pages as well. Like we could put it here, right? We could put this here. What color is this? Ground espresso. Here we go. Oh, goodness. So what projects are you working on? What's going on in your creative corner of the world? I have decided to go to Cape Cod next week. At least that's what I'm thinking of at this point in time. There. See, this is a way to add things to your journal without adding bulk, right? Right. Where are those? They're down here. The ones that I just tore out of the one cookbook. Right. I could, well, this one's kind of wide. I'm not quite sure about that one. This one I can cut down. And let's take a look-see. Oh, I also want to go through my botanical washi tape to see, like this can go here. This is the signature center. I'm going to get out mini rotary here. And this might be, what's going on? Oh, down there. You might not see the whole of this, right? I'm going to trim it down some more as well. And how big is this? This is 10 inches. So we need to take 1.5 inches off the bottom, which is there. And again, I realize this might be out of frame for you, and I apologize. There. Now, do we want to put it over here? I'll put it over here. Oh, goodness. Let's do vintage photo on this one. Apple trees. Don't sit under the apple tree with anybody else but me. Anybody else but me. I guess Bella's outside. She wants to come in. Right, all these old-timey songs, but it's an old, these are old-timey books we're looking at. There. There we go. All right, let's just scooch on back here to the second signature so we can spread the love. This one already has this. What's going on here? Okay. I still want to do something here to add structure to this, and I think I know. Oh, I'm sorry. I think I know what it's going to be. Make sure you guys are in frame. I can kind of see if you are or not. We could put something on this page. We could do this one on this page. Why not? And again, I think this is vintage photo. No, this ground espresso. And it feels like it's almost dry. Okay, and once again, there. Okay. And okay, so let me go back to, where is it? Is it this page? Well, no, I have that, so I don't need to add. There was a page in here I said I wanted to add structure to, or was it in the first signature? Might have been in the first signature. No. I'm thinking of that grocery sack page. This page. This is the page. Okay, that I said I wanted to add structure to. And what I was thinking about is, actually I wasn't thinking, I was thinking about a flip out with a pocket behind it. What gave me the idea is when I was putting this in and I had forgotten to glue this down, it was a flip open, and I like that. So that's what I was thinking. But that's also in the first signature. So I don't think I would want to do it in the same signature. Let's keep on going with this paper edging, and I could do it. I could do it here, and it would flip open this way. Okay, so, but I needed double-sided cardstock. Excuse me. I'm reaching back to this. Hold on a second. Wait a second. Let me see here. This is double-sided. Not that one, obviously. No, that's that. That. No, the stripes, they hurt my eyes. The chickens we don't want. This is, we'd use the daisies again. We could use this, but then that's introducing a whole new element. So let's put this aside for the moment and see what we have here. We could do that. These are kind of, well, I did that one already. We could maybe, let's pull that one out. Don't want anything to make my eyes go too buggy, right? anything to make my eyes go too buggy. All right, let's pull that one out as well. And let's see which one we prefer. And I said I was going to put it over here. So, thing is, this has a lot of that blue teal-y color, so I'm automatically going to put that one aside and say no to that one. And this one. Now we can put this on the outside, and then when you open it, this will be the inside. Okay, first off, this is 12. I'm going to cut this down by, oh, good Lord. Too many things on my desk right now. I'm going to take 2 inches off of this. That much I know. 2 inches right there. Right there. Okay. Fine. 2 inches. And then the book is 8.5, so 8, I need to take 4 inches off this side. All right, I know this is going to be off frame, and I apologize. 4 inches off this side. And I hope I did that right. That I didn't just cut down both sides. No, I did that right. Okay, so, geez. Now, where was I going to put it? I was going to put it here. I was going to put it here. Now, do we want this on the outside? Or do we want this on the outside? I'm thinking I want this on the outside. Bear with me. So, what I'm going to do is, let me get this folded. This is going to be glued down on these 3 sides so that it's going to be a pocket behind here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to notch it. There. Okay, so we're going to have a pocket back there. And it is going to open this way, and we're going to put a pocket here, and we're going to put a pocket here. That's what we're going to do. Okay. Ooh. So I could have just folded it up. Wasn't thinking. I want to, I want to round those corners. So let's take this, our chomper doodle here. Get it to round those corners for me. Okay. And then we are going to ground espresso it. And I'm going to ink that. Okay, we're going to ground espresso. And we're also going to put a pocket on the front. So once again, pockets, pockets, pockets. Okay. And we'll just do this too. Why not? Just and okay. Do that a little bit more. Okay. So we're going to put this here, which will give this page stability. Right? We're going to glue it down on the 3 sides, and we might even add a bit of washi tape here just to give it a little bit more stability, because it might become a A weak area right there. And then we're going to put pockets, pockets, pockets. Why don't we put the pockets on it first before we glue it into the book? And let's see if I can remember. What do we want to do? This? We can do this. We can use this one. We can use, where are our scraps? I'm thinking, where are those daisies? Daisies, daisies. We could do this. We could make the pockets out of this, right? We could. This is 2 inches to there, and this one is 2 inches. We can cut this down. I can thumb notch it right there. We can cut it down there. So we can have this one here, right? This could be a pocket here. Or maybe we'll do it this way. Well, this could be a pocket here. And hold on. Where are all those other scraps? They're over here, and they are... throw these in the bucket so they stay out of my way. They're not wide enough. Okay, so... or we can make the pockets out of this. What do we want to do? We can make the pockets out of this. We could. For some reason, I'm not like these scraps are too narrow. Okay. So, okay, so farm fresh ingredients. Let's do this. We have 2 inches right there. Whoop. 2.5. 2 right there. And this one. How big is this? Did I do 2? I did not do 2.5. I did... what did I do? Here's my 2-inch mark right there. I did not quite, good gracious, not quite 2 1/4. Okay. So this one, I'll do it this way, 2 1/4. Make sure these are more or less the same size. They are not. Where are my scissors? And I feel the paper's moving. I feel the paper's moving. Okay. Notch them right there. Right there. And then, how wide is this? I think I said it was 5 inches. 5 inches. This is 6 inches, so we need to take... we need to take a 1/2 inch off of both sides. And I'm saying off of both sides because I just thumb notched it in the middle. So... taking a 1/2 inch off of both sides, right there. I'm not, obviously I had enough there to fold over and gusset and things like that. I'm not fussing with that. So we could do this one here. I need to round my corner. We could put this one here, right? And we could put this one here. This one here. Right. What about this one? I could put this one on the front. Let's put this one on the front. Okay, this one's going on the front. Rounding that corner. I'm going to trim it down slightly. And I am going to throw some ink along those edges. All right, so this one is going here, just like that. Doot, doot, doot. Just a basic, nothing fancy pocket right there, right there. Okay, now this one, and I said this one, if I can pick it up, come on. I have to make this one. These are the same. So I need to, here we go. Let's just make it easy on me. Sorry, that is just, I'm just chopping that off over there. And I am there. Notching it there. Okay. Now, these corners need to be chopped. Okay. There. And ink some edges. And ink some edges. Okay, and I cut it just a little bit extra so that I just cut off a hair on the inside edge because this is going to be because of the fold, right? I'm getting this down here. I want to make sure that it's going to fold over okay. And now this one. Whoops, getting kind of messy there. And this one we're going to place down here. There. This one looks a little crooked. Again. Ay, 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 ay. Come on. There. Okay. There. And while we have it out, before we put it in the book, we can make a little tab right like that. Okay, let's go ahead and ink this. Oh, wait a second. I want to, I'm going to chop this here. Oh. Where's my pointy tool? What is this doing stuck there? Oh, for heaven's sakes. It's definitely stuck there. Quarter of an inch. Round it just a little bit. There. And go back over that. Okay, and we're going to glue this whole thing. Put glue on the whole thing, I should say, especially here. And where do we think? There, 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 there. Hopefully it won't hang over too much when we put it in the book, as we are now ready to do. Was this in the third signature or the second signature? Remind me, please. Nope, it was in the second signature. No, it was in, no. It was in the second signature. It was here. It was right here. It was right here. Okay. And we go down, down. It's kind of like we just made a little folder, right? A little manila folder. Although not a manila folder. And we're going to put it in there. And now, oof, sticks out a little, but so do some of the pages. It should not be an issue. It should not be an issue. There, and it opens up to pockets, 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 and pocket. There we go. What fun. Yes, what fun. We can reinforce this with maybe some masking tape or some washi tape. See, this is what I mean, the pages. So we need to reinforce it in here with something like this. Like instead of putting the edge at that edge of the paper, we could put it at this edge of the paper. We could just do that. Fossilized amber, because this had fossilized amber on it already. Okay, let's put that there. Sorry. Ugh, sorry. Just keep whacking you away. Let's do this. I realize it's kind of wider than what I would normally use for an outside edge piece, but I think that this page needs it. I think it needs it basically in order to support this. Oops. There. Making sure it's down in there. And I think I'm going to have to reinforce this. Whoops. Hello. With some masking tape. I'm just making sure this page is reinforced. Okay. Let's see if I can get it in there. Oh, glue. I have glue on my fingers. Figures. Pull it up here. There. Okay. So that's reinforced there. And we can, oh goodness, where is it? There. I could put a magnet here to make sure that stays closed, or I could do a little Velcro. I'm also going to throw down some of this here. I'm going to cut it. Whoops, hello. Got caught on that. I'm going to cut it right here. Those are those types of scissors, but it's not working. So let me cut in a little bit here. And cut in a little bit here. There. So as not to hinder getting in and out of that pocket. And let me cut a little right there. Ay, 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 ay. So that pocket is not hindered, although it does feel a little hindered from the glue. That's fine. Okay. There. And I'm thinking, just seeing where that is, should have been moved up more. It's not in the center like this is. So all right, so I'm going to use a magnet. Is going to give it some thickness, but then again, so would Velcro, little Velcro dots. So would my Velcro dots. I think this would give it less thickness than the Velcro. All right, hang on. I need to reach behind me and get my little piece of tin here. I'm going to glue it right there. Actually, I'm not sure this is the right glue to be using. I'm gonna stick it right there. Right there. Okay, that doesn't seem to be moving anywhere. And then this one, I will place all right, let go of my finger, please. Right there. Right there. And I will put a little piece of masking tape over it to make sure it stays put. Now, that big disc that I used is called a tin roofing nail or roofing nail cover or something. I'm not quite sure. But it's very, very thin. You can get them, I believe, in different sizes. Let me pull out the box to show you. Oh. Here, tin tabs. There we go. It's a tin tab. These are 1 5/8 inches a pound. There's a lot in here. They're wafer thin. Wafer thin. And so the magnet, the little magnet that I put there, I probably got these from Amazon. 20 magnetic small discs. Super slim and seriously strong. And they're both negative and positive, but it doesn't matter. Negative or positive will, because that one was a positive. Here, I'll show you. And here's a negative. Let me get it out. See if I can get it out. Because you can see they're there. See? That goes too. Negative or positive. They both work on that. So, and they don't add really that much bulk at all. I have other magnets that are thicker, but these are just enough. Just enough. There. Okay. So, how long have we been at it? Oh, an hour. Of course, it's always an hour, isn't it? Time flies when you're having fun. And, well, what else did I want to do? I think I wanted to do more edging. Again, I also needed to, I was going to make an envelope to give this more structure. I'm sorry, I'm turning around, reaching behind me. For a sheet of vellum. The other envelope I made out of deli paper from the deli that my cheese came wrapped in, right? There goes that darn dog again. So, where was it? Was it here? It was here. It was on this one. This, I don't think this is going to give it enough structure. We could use the vellum. I'm going to have to trim it down. An inch. I'm going to take it down an inch this way. So it's 7.5 inches as opposed to 8.5 inches. And then we will just fold it up, right, to there. Okay. Fold it up to there. And in order to make sure that we have a nice, large pocket, we're not going to glue it together. We are going to, ooh, we could dry decoupage it with this kind of stuff. We could. There's an idea. I would need all right, here we go. Here we go. We're going to seal the sides of this with this, and then we will glue this down. Now, I need to, this is tissue paper. It's going to be, let me just, and I realize you might be off frame a little bit. I'm just neatening out that edge, and then I'm going to trim it. Well, I didn't do such a great job of getting it straight, though. It's kind of hard when this thing is curly. I'll do 1 inch wide, so it'll be 1/2 inch on each side. So there's one strip, and let's do another strip of 1 inch wide, so that it will be 1/2 inch. Excuse me, on either side. And I'm going to pull out a book page here. And glue it up like so. Now this is longer than it needs to be. So putting it there, that, and putting it there. Like so. And see if I can shift it over a little bit. There's more in the back than there is in the front. Didn't do such a good job there. Hold on. There. And let's try that again, shall we? Get the glue off my fingers so I can tell what I'm doing here. Okay, and glue stick and tissue paper work really well together. just saying. All right, so what I'm doing is I am trying to line that up, as you can tell on the grid here on my match, and just putting it on a line because each of these squares is 1/4 of an inch. So I am trying to then just going up. I'm sorry if my head's in the way. Going up. Let me do it this way because I'm trying to reach over this and I keep on moving it. So, all right, there. That is there. That is there. Well, let's see how well we did on this one. And again, there's seems to be more on the back than on the front, but that's okay. Also, this bit of corner seems to have missed out on some glue. I'll put that there. And tearing it, should have torn the other one better than cutting it and risk cutting the fold of that. Okay, and then again, we were folding this in like so and like so. And I'm going to get out my little scrap here of double-sided adhesive so that yeah, I'm gonna cut it down right there. Right there. And I'm going to cut this in half like so. And I should be okay for both of these. Should be okay for both of these. Let me see. I'm just gonna trim this down just a hair. Okay. And there. And I have that glue stuck on me too. Okay. Now let's get the pokey tool out. Fold that back in on itself. And I have some sticky right there. Which I probably should have just rubbed off as opposed to killing it with the cornstarch, because now I can't rub it off. And you have a little, okay. Okay, well, now we're going to do the same to this. We're going to cut some of it off because it's a little bit too big. Ugh, come on, let go, let go. Okay. Put you there. And it's come over that fold there, so there's going to be some hanging off the edge here. I put it on the wrong way. I should have put it long ways the other way. So we're going to fold this one. But this one we're going to see if I can get it rubbed off with my finger, as opposed to, which I can, as opposed to killing it with the cornstarch. And then I have to scrub this. I have to scrub my work surface. There. Whoops. And now we're going to fold it over. I think we'll use the scoreboard, gently use the scoreboard. We do not want to rip the vellum. Gently use the scoreboard. Let's see if we can. There. And we need to, my goodness, that just took forever, didn't it? We need to put a closure there, but what I was just thinking, I'm going to do this right to here, and also across the bottom. And then what I'm going to do is I will take a piece of the tissue paper and use the glue stick, or actually maybe use double-sided adhesive, and make a piece of washi out of it. Okay, that looks crooked. It's in there now, though. It is a little crooked. Everything's a little crooked. Gosh gracious. Gosh gracious. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? I don't have a this is 1/2 inch. Okay. And then we will trim it. And I'm trying to put this towards the edge of the paper. But again, oh shoot. My overhead light is not on, so it's a little bit dark in here for me. There. So I can't really see very well, is what I'm saying. Okay. And I'm going right along the edge of that tape. Like so. Trim that off. And again, right along the edge. No, I'm not going. I'm getting sloppy here. Something's going on with the paper underneath it. All right, I'll try to edit this down because obviously we're way over an hour at this point. Where are we? An hour and 15. Okay. So, let's try this again. Get the glue off my fingers. Here we go. Just a second. Just want to make sure any writing we have is not going to be upside down in the book. There. There. To there. There to there. Okay. And here we are with our own homemade washi tape. There. There we go. There it is. There it is. Now this is, I'm not going to worry about this needing, is that 1 or 2? Looks like 2. It is 2. Needing reinforcing like I reinforced the other one. But we will put this down like so. Just glop some on the bottom of it. There. Like so. Okay, and these are the Katie Daisy ones that we took out. Oh, that dog. We can put a sticker on it that's comes off. We could. I am brave, trust the magic, so thankful, let's go. Hello, beauty. Love. These are cute. Let me take a look and see where that sticker is gonna fall. There. I still have this that I want to do, put in here. Okay, well, this has gone on a bit. This is Karynjean from Ex Libris Crafts. I'm going to clean up the mess I've made. Ay, ay, ay. And, yeah, I hope you had some fun, found some inspiration. If you are not yet a subscriber, please subscribe. I certainly would appreciate that. Let your imagination take you to magical places. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.